This is an InfoBlips LLC podcast network production.
Hello, and welcome to the weekly wrap up with John and Yancey. My name is John Haynes. I'm here without my co-host and friend, Yancey Seals. Today's an abbreviated podcast, and I want to bring a couple of things to our listeners' attention, our viewers' attention. The reason why Yancey's not here is because we were on earlier, and I had connectivity problems on my end. The reason why is because we don't have the proper type of equipment to continue to put on these podcasts in a professional way for it to look well, which is where you come in. Soon, you're going to receive a request in your emails to subscribe to the weekly wrap up with John and Yancey. The price will be $2.50. That is less than what you pay for a cup of coffee and way less than you pay for a cup of coffee if you go to Starbucks. We need this influence, we need this money in order to buy servers, in order to use the proper equipment that will allow us not to have latency and allow us to connect properly. I'm on the East Coast, Yancey's on the West Coast, and the connectivity is something that has to be strong for it to come across smooth. We desperately need your help. So again, when you receive the request for $2.50 to subscribe to the weekly wrap up with John and Yancey, we ask that you consider saying yes. Another reason why I brought this podcast on is a couple of things that's occurring in the United States and in the world that I want to bring to your attention. First, I would like to pay homage to the three sergeants, Rivers, Sanders, and Sergeant Moffett, that were killed in a drone strike in Jordan. If you don't know, Jordan sent Iranian-backed militants sent a drone, and it hit a base in Jordan. Tower 22 is the name of the base, and it killed these three soldiers in their sleep. As I said last week, the United States had to respond, and we have responded in a decisive way. And there's going to be an ongoing campaign, according to the president, which I believe is the right thing to do. We cannot allow people to kill United States soldiers. We cannot allow people to attack United States military or property and not pay a very, very heavy cost. I don't like war. I don't like violence, but there are times when violence is extremely necessary, and this is one of those times. You have the Houthis attacking shipping the ships in the Red Sea, cargo ships, commercial cargo ships in the Red Sea, and also attacking military ships in the Red Sea. That cannot stand. The United States is going to have to respond, and they have responded with Britain, in order to destroy those installations that allow those attacks to go on. I think it's important for us to understand that a war with Iran is not what we're seeking, according to the president and anybody with any sense. We do not want a war with Iran. We don't want a type of widening of the war in the Middle East. And Yancey has a good point, and we will talk about that next week. And I'll let him say what he really thinks. And I agree with him that Netanyahu wanted this. So we can't allow this to happen. And then again, we can't allow Netanyahu to dictate what he wants to occur in the Middle East. I have said before that I believe Benjamin Netanyahu is an evil man. I believe that Israel at this point in time is being led by an evil person, and they're committing genocide on the Palestinian people. That cannot continue to happen. The United States has told Netanyahu that they want him to stop. He says that Netanyahu says that the United States can't say anything to him. They have no opinion on that, what he does in Israel. And okay, that's fine. Then let's stop sending money there. Okay, let's stop sending him the ability to carry out these attacks. I've said this before. My position on this is very, very well stated. We cannot continue to do this. If we do, the United States as a whole is going to pay a heavy cost. You reap what you sow. Okay, and people, it's an international law. So now you reap what you sow. If you sow death, kill, what is it? If you sow kill, steal, and destroy, you're going to receive kill, steal, and destroy. And that's what we do not want to happen in the United States. I also want to talk about switching channels, switching topics. I also want to talk about a judge by the name of Royce Lamberth. He is a Republican appointed judge. This is very important. Judge Lamberth came out with a statement that said that if the Trump organization continued to belittle or say that January 6th was not an attack on our democracy, it is a very dangerous for the United States for our position. It's dangerous for us to continue to exist as a democracy. January 6th was a failed coup led by then President, and I call him criminal defendant now, Donald Trump. Criminal defendant Donald J. Trump organized this whole thing. And there are facts, and that's just not conjecture. There are facts that lead people to the determination that he did. That's the reason why some of the people did not want to respond to the January 6th committee's probes, because they would have to say, yes, he told us to do that. All right. That's neither here nor there. Criminal defendant Donald Trump, and he is a criminal defendant. He's been found guilty on sexual assault. He's been found guilty of defrauding the state of New York by fraudulently carrying out or fraudulently operating a business in the state of New York. All right. And there are 91 indictments against this individual. My question is, why are people supporting him? Why are people continuing to back a criminal defendant and hope to be felon? If Donald Trump is a felon, he couldn't even vote for himself. All right. I mean, think about that. And the Republicans want this individual to be president of the United States. That would end our democracy as we know it, because Donald Trump has already said that he would be a dictator. Listen to the tapes. Anyway, I also want to bring up a fact that connects the southern border. In New York last week, there were 2 police officers that were brutally attacked, and it's on film, by migrants that is in a migrant center in New York. Several of the individuals were apprehended, and they were apprehended and sent to a holding cell. During the arraignment, the judge saw fit to release these individuals on their own recognizance into the public again. And these individuals supposedly or reportedly got on a bus and headed toward California. We cannot allow this to happen. We cannot allow this to happen, which is the reason why we have to take control of the southern border. The Republicans have been begging for this for 3 years. There is now a bill that has been drawn to close the southern border, or to at least handle the situation at the southern border, which is a really bad situation. We have people like this coming into our country. So Congress got together and did what they're supposed to do and created a bill. Now the Republicans are saying, hold up, we don't know if we want what we've been asking for 3 years. And you would go, that doesn't make sense. Why are they doing that? Because criminal defendant Donald J. Trump told them, you can't do that. If you pass that bill, it is going to give Joe Biden an upper hand to campaign on when he runs for president against me. So destroy the bill, say no to what you've been asking for, say no to something that will help the American people or protect the American people because it's going to negatively affect me, or it could negatively affect me, Donald J. Trump. Again, this person is not in politics for the American people. He is in politics for himself and his surrogates and other people that back him to make money off of us, the people of the United States of America. That's very disturbing. And if you don't see that as disturbing, then you're not looking at it as a citizen of the United States of America. I have to say that. I guess, I don't know. I have grandkids, you know, and I don't want them to grow up into an autocracy. I don't want them to have a king. You know, basically, I want them to continue to have a democracy so they can go to school and they can learn and have a wonderful life. If Donald Trump becomes president, that will not happen. We are going to have a civil war in this country. And I have to say that. And that's terrible. It scares me to even think about it. But there are people in this country who want that to happen because they believe that white superiority must be upheld at all costs. Now you can look into this and they'll say, well, but not only white people are backing Donald Trump. No, there are some black people backing him too, but there was also black people who participated in the slave trade. They care about money more than they care about the whole or our country. They care more about money. And that's the reason why these people are backing Donald J. Trump, or they're brainwashed. I mean, why would you want a person to lead our nation that is a sexual offender, a sexual predator, or has been held liable, not liable, I don't even know what the word is. He committed sexual assault, a person that committed fraud, defrauding the state of New York. Okay, a person that attempted a coup in the United States because he didn't want to give up power. And we want that person as president? No, I think not. I think not. Now, I want to say something that people say, oh, but Joe Biden is too old. We're going to end on a really good note. The United States has the best economy that it has ever had in 60 years. The United States has the best economy that we have ever had in the last 60 years. The job market is up. Pay is up 4.5%. The Fed is talking about reducing interest rates, right? We're running on all cylinders. The United States is doing better than any other industrialized country in the world. Although the Republicans will tell you that our economy is terrible. Look at the statistics. Don't listen to what anybody, including me, don't listen to what I say. Go and look at the statistics. All you got to Google, press your little thing and ask Google or ask Siri, what is the United States economy like? And it'll tell you that we're doing great. So don't listen to the okie doke. You know, it's just ridiculous for them to say that the economy is bad when you can look at the statistics and it'll tell you that the economy is doing really well. Anyway, so that's a good thing to end on. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, basically, right now. And I'm going to ask you guys again to, when you receive the request for subscription for the weekly wrap up with John and Yancey, please consider saying yes. It's $2.50. That's $30 a year. Again, you pay more than that for coffee or tea or a soda, you know, if you drink sodas, which I hope you don't. Anyway, that's it for me. And again, next week, Yancey will be here. I'm gonna call the cable companies, the internet companies, and see what we can do about the connectivity problem. And then we desperately need you again to subscribe to this particular podcast. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on Amazon Music. You can catch us on Apple One Podcasts. We are going to grow that to be even more places, to hopefully I can say wherever you receive your podcast from. We also can be found on TuneIn, although TuneIn Radio, they actually pick and choose which episode that they are going to air based on the topic content. We can be kind of here with me and Yancey, we tell it like it is, and sometimes platforms do not want that, and so they choose the ones that they want. They choose the episodes that they want, which is fine for their audience. Again, thank you very much for listening. This is John Haynes, and I'm signing off. Peace, you guys.